And I'm just using photocopier paper, and take the short edge, aligning it with the long edge, folding it diagonally. Once you have this area in the spot you want it, then you can finish this fold. Bam. So, but if you have a square piece of paper to start with, this ends up being 8.5 inches by 8.5 inches, depending on where you are in the world. I'm in Canada, which we did change to metric at some point in my childhood, but it never stuck. So, I mean, I can use it, but we still use 8.5. We use imperial measurements for paper here, so not all things paper, but definitely the size, 8.5 by 11. We don't do an A4 like they do in pretty much the rest of the world. Actually, I have no idea. It's a pretty big world out there. I can't go around saying I know what the paper size is for the whole world. But I'd be interested to know where you're from and what size of paper you use, where you're from. Anyways, I'm digressing all over the place here. Now, what I like to do is refold this triangle back on itself. So you get, you're just kind of training the paper to be able to fold both ways. And then the next thing we're doing is finding that 60-degree angle here to create 3 equal parts. I've done this so many times, but I'm always amazed whether I get it right or not. Like, I'm way off on that one. Sometimes I'm bang on. Bang on. Bang on. That's pretty close. Not quite. I mean, we're so close there. Who's gonna give us a hard time about that? That is really close. Okay. So now we have this, whatever this is, and we're gonna fold it in half this time. And we've already had that fold already pre-folded, so it's easy to get that folded down. I've got to tell you, there's a little bit of a discrepancy here, and I'm not crazy about that. But for this design, I don't think it's going to matter terribly. And you can always go back and just kind of refold the folds to see if you can get it a little more accurate, a little accurater, which I don't think is a word. But I would like to be a little more accurater. Or maybe an accurator is somebody that goes around and makes sure everything is accurate. I think that can be my new job title. I'm the accurator. I'm not curator. I'm just the accurator. Going around to different places and measuring things and making sure they're accurate. Ooh, just lost a light there. Goodbye, light. Still good enough though, right? It's a little more setting mood here. So that's pretty close. These edges are pretty flush, and these edges are pretty flush. So you want to find this short edge here, and you're going to cut off the excess. And then just turn that over and cut this off. After you do about 2 or 3 snowflakes, you'll get the idea of what happens every time, the same thing. So this one, I'm going to measure a little bit, I suppose. I'm going to go 1/4 of an inch all the way down this one edge. I'm just going to lightly do it because I will come back and darken the lines so we can all see what it looks like after. And then I'm going to pretty much just do like a diagonal here from this point up here. And what I'm doing is creating like this, a point where all of the shapes will come up to. So we're going to have all the shapes kind of go straight this way. Pretty simple actually, but it'll create an interesting symmetry, I think. And I keep talking about symmetry because I like it. I'm going to also do 1/4 of an inch on this side as well. So we go up that way. Lightly, my friends. I tend to push on that pencil way too hard. Where are we here? Okay. I was just looking at the drawing I did that I'm sketching this from. Okay, yeah, that's what I did. I'm just gonna remove the marks from the part that will remain on the snowflake. Instead of having a perfect tip, I think I want to have like it come out, like have it be a bit more, it's kind of angular that way. I think that's going to be kind of cool. It's pretty simple too, which is these are, like a design like this is a kind of a good place to start in your snowflake making adventure. And it is an adventure. Yeah, now we're just cutting out these little divots here. They're easier to cut out because they end in a point. That's what I like about those shapes. You're cutting it into a point, so you don't have to turn your scissors at all. Whereas with this, which is fine, you have to turn the scissors, but the hardest is really the inside part of a circle shape. The outside of a circle, fine, but inside, not so easy. There's different levels of mastery to this, I'm sure. I know that there are paper artists out there who kind of the level of the technical level, creative too, but I find that I'm usually more creative than I am technical. I tend to I can come up with a lot of ideas and a lot of creations, but you know, the skills aren't always there to back it up. So it's nice when you can develop the skills to get where you want to go. I think that's a lot about artists. You know, you gotta work on, not that you have to work on the skills, but just keep doing stuff until those skills come, and they will. And just watch lots of YouTubes. There's often a technique that you'll stumble across, that somebody will introduce you to a new technique that'll make it easier, or just like one little bit of advice I find, and then like it's like a springboard for more possibilities in your creations. It's like if you were a musician and you learn some new chord progressions, you learn just some new chord shapes, or a new instrument. It can give you a feel for, or give you more possibility of creating something when you're more familiar with the tools and techniques. So let's see what this looks like. This is probably a design I was looking online at paper snowflakes, but also the snowflakes that are like photographed, real snowflakes that are photographed, which is incredibly inspiring. Like, it's just something magical about snowflakes. And I guess this is why I'm kind of getting into this so deeply this holiday season, this Christmas season, the season in between Christmas and New Year's is the season to be creative. Is that creative enough for you? I do like this one. So I was going to say, this is more like some of the snowflakes I mean, not exactly, obviously, but some of the snowflake photography out there is kind of similar to this, some of it. That's the thing about snowflakes, I guess. They're not all alike, but they're similar. If you look at, there's two different types of snowflakes, typically. And one is where they have these sort of tree-like parts that have like little branches out from them. And then there's other ones that are more like a hexagon, fuller shape, which I haven't done as many of those yet. But I'm trying it all. I did a lot of sketches. I'm just kind of going through all the sketches I did to see how they turn out once they are kind of like Frosty, come to life, like Frosty the Snowman. So I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end to see that. Let's see if the important thing is, will it spin? This one's pretty good. I think it's more to do with my spinning technique. It's probably, if you have any basketball players out there, if you're a basketball player and a snowflake maker, I'd be curious how good you can spin a flake. Because it's not that easy, man, for me. Alright, well, I hope, I'm a frog in the throat. I hope you liked the video. Hope you got something out of it. And if you did, please give it a like and follow if you you want to see more paper arts like snowflakes and bookbinding and all kinds of paper making stuff. And what else? I don't know. Just be creative, enjoy yourself, and have fun. It's not a serious thing making snowflakes. It's just a lot of fun. So, yeah. See you next time.